Alright, right off the bat, first thing first, 37 minutes for 14 songs is a little crazy. I feel like this highly anticipated Jpegmafia and Danny Brown collab album was, worth the wait, because they've been teasing it for like a year now. They had been working hard, gathering their creative juices from getting all the behind the scenes that Jpegmafia been dropping on his Twitter, his Instagram, even watching some of their interactions on camera with their interviews. All that together gave me enough confidence that they was going to make this thing enjoyable, and all that was fulfilled. I really feel like I enjoyed my time listening to this. If I can recall back, even at times I thought, I was a little iffy of where this album was going to go. It was like whenever they fumbled, at certain parts in certain songs, they quickly pick things back up as things never failed. And I didn't even know much of Danny Brown, to be honest. This album gave me, like, even with a little bit of research that I've done on Danny Brown, I did check out some of his videos. I know he got a podcast. I know he been on, on various other shows and things like that. He got his own show as well. Even with that small bit of research, it was like all that build of me just going back and, figuring out who Danny Brown is led up to this album. And after this album, I'm like, okay, Danny Brown, I get it. I know what this nigga is about. And I have to admit, there were times on this project that I thought his performance, him being on this album, having these songs with Jpegmafia didn't really do it for me. I was a little doubtful. I was like, I don't know. But as time went on, bro, and I'm glad that, this album kept me entertained throughout. As time went on, I ended up liking it. I do think the mixing could have been better on a lot of these tracks. There were many times, and this would only happen to Danny vocals, like just him. Like Jpegmafia, I could understand him clearly, but Danny Brown, like it just seems like he was just like there but not there at the same time. But I'm not tripping at all. Everything else was at least enjoyable enough to outweigh that tidbit right there. There aren't many moments from this album, that I could just think from the top of my head. The only thing that I can really like appreciate and like respect is that Jpegmafia used the SP404 hardware to like produce all this shit. The same type of hardware that I have myself that I still don't know how to use to this day. I pay like $400 for that shit. Collecting mad dust right now, bruh. It was like midway through the album, I realized that tweet that Jpegmafia put out that he used the SP404, and then like my whole perspective for this album changed after that point. And from there on, I just started paying more attention to the beats, try to recognize the chops and how they were edited and things like that. And it really does sound like this thing could have been made smoothly through the SP404 hardware. And I just got a lot of respect for that, because learning that shit, bro, is hard as fuck. And to no surprise, the signature style of Jpegmafia's production is still there throughout this entire project. Even a new piece of hardware can't deflate how wacky and creative Jpegmafia is. And this project right here, I do have to agree, is one of his better beat selections of a project on the experimental side of things, with the projects like All My Heroes Are Cornballs, Veteran. Look, we're not gonna talk about LP, that's in his own bracket. Picture Danny Brown and Jpegmafia on a roller coaster, and unlike everyone else, they're the only ones not screaming. Instead, they're the only ones delivering their verses. That's basically what this album was, just a whole bunch of nonsense, crazy samples. And this coming from me is really no different from someone else that's listened to Jpegmafia just as much as me, that know the ins and outs of each of his projects. Knowing that Danny Brown is like the loudest one and have the most distinctive voice out of the two, he's the most quietest out of, like, between the two on this album. It's just like, I don't know, I would expect Danny Brown would have like a bigger showing, but he kind of did, but like in a hindsight kind of way. Initially, Orange Juice Jones was going to be my favorite, I like the sample, but I think I'm gonna give it to Scaring the Hoes. I'm not sure if it's a guitar, it sounds like a guitar, but with the live drums and everything, it really just sounds really good. Yeah, that guitar or whatever, I really don't think that's like a actual guitar. It sounds like something imitating a guitar. You know how Jpegmafia is with, when it comes to beat making, like he can turn anything, any type of sound, any fucking paper clip, like with no problem, any type of sound, bro, he could turn it into a beat and make that shit sound good. So yeah, I'm probably gonna have to give it Scaring the Hoes. That's the only song I've been coming back to the most anyway. Not gonna lie to y'all, bro, I was really hoping for that fucking the hoe feeling like heaven on earth bar, bro. I mean, all it makes sense. Like, come on, the song called Hoe, Heaven on Earth, like, you know, fucking the hoe feeling like heaven on earth. Like, I can hear Danny Brown saying that shit right now. Fucking the hoe feeling like heaven on earth. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, I can hear that shit right now.
Oh, okay.
But to be honest with y'all, I really don't know if they actually said that bar or not. If they did, that would be hilarious. But that was just the first thing that came to mind when I saw that title, bro. Like, that bar had to be said. And by the looks of it, bro, I can't even look up the lyrics. Like, the lyrics not even there. Y'all let me know down in the comments if y'all heard this album. You know, I want to know if there's some Jpeg fans, if any of my subscribers listen to him, know who Danny Brown is. I did try listening to his music. Honestly, bro, like, I couldn't stand it. Like, you know, like his voice is hilarious. He's good for comedy, but musically, I don't know if I could take too much of Danny Brown. But like I said, let me know y'all thoughts on this album in particular, though, in the comments. I'm back. You know what I'm saying? You know, I had to take a little bit of time away, just a little 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks. You feel what I'm saying? Get things under control. I'm learning to take things one step at a time, one day at a time, because I don't want to miss too many days again, man. Like, I felt real depressed missing so many days. I'm like, damn, bro, like, I started this channel, you know what I'm saying? I'm not even uploading, you know. I gotta get back on it. So I appreciate all y'all for watching, staying with me, staying sub up. If you're not sub up, if you're watching this, make sure you do. Yeah, man, I appreciate all y'all, man, y'all support. Road to 500 subscribers. We still on the road, man, and I'll be back. Peace.